They have right to life and personal liberty or protection, right to life is. Okay, and the pro-choice people, what they say? That the woman who is carrying the baby has the right over her body. Okay, so she has the right to decide whether she wants to carry the baby or whether she wants to abort the baby. So, debate in abortion is essentially the debate between pro-life and pro-choice. Okay, it was in news recently because Ireland.
A dentist in Ireland died because a dentist in Ireland died. Because over there abortion is not allowed, and the condition people targeting again and again, and they said no.
Yeah. So because Ireland is a Catholic country, and generally Catholic Christians are very conservative when it comes to these things, abortion, etc. See, most of the Catholic countries, abortion is illegal. So Ireland was one of those countries where abortion was not allowed. And one Indian origin woman, Indian origin, she was a doctor. Okay. So the Indian origin woman she died there because she was having health complications, and as per the Irish law, she could not abort her baby. So after her death, a few years back, a movement started in Ireland. Okay, a people's movement started basically pressurizing government to amend the abortion law. And finally, I think a few months back only, Ireland passed a new act which now allows abortion. So that's why abortion was against. So you can expect a question on abortion. Basically, again, highlight both the sides. What are the arguments for pro-life people? What are the arguments for pro-choice people? Ultimately, you can take any stance. But again, the liberal stance is allowing abortion if certain conditions are met. Again, make a distinction between normal abortion and sex-selective abortion. We are not talking of sex-selective abortion here. So, sex-selective abortion is completely prohibited. उसमें कोई laxity नहीं होनी चाहिए. And we already have an act, PCP and DTM. We are talking of general abortion. Okay.
So it was used because of that event only,
not in any case. In the Indian context, there have been some incidents wherein, which those cases have gone to the Supreme Court, wherein some couples or some women they have wanted to abort their baby after 20 weeks. It was forbidden, and then the Supreme Court decided on a case-to-case basis. Okay, but specifically nothing has happened in the Indian context. Similarly, ethics of stem cell research. You have heard of stem cell research? What is the issue in stem cell research? Or rather, embryonic stem cell research.
It is not proven research. Still, it is in research phase. The theories still are not proved that if we give a result, complete result, so all the stimulation is available among the people. That the people who are giving the case, they say, if in case after 50 years something happened, we can regenerate stem cells, but they don't give adequate knowledge that it's still in a research process. It is not proved that it will help or not.
Okay, that is one part that is still not a proven field of research. So giving misleading sort of details. Apart from that, any other issue in embryonic stem cell? What happens in embryonic stem cell research? Going against the nature. But what exactly happens? How does stem cell research is carried out?
The umbilical cord, and it has some DNA structure that both can coexist with mother and that child. So in case in future something happened, regeneration of cell, for example, in case of cancer, it can be used, or some bone marrows for regeneration, of cells, this can be used.
Yeah, so essentially in embryonic stem cell research, embryos are developed in laboratories. Okay, laboratory में embryo को develop किया जाता है, then they are used, the bone marrow, basically in stem cell research, the bone marrow cell, bone marrow tissue is used, okay, to carry out research, basically for the treatment of diseases such as Parkinson's disorder or cancer, etc. And then the embryo is destroyed. So again, the essential issue in embryonic stem cell research is rights of embryos versus potential medical benefits. The opponents of embryonic stem cell research, they say that you are developing an embryo in an artificial condition, using it for research purpose, and then you are destroying it. So again, it's a violation of right to life of the embryo. Even an embryo which has been developed in a laboratory, it also has a right to life. Okay. So basically, the ethical conflict is between right to life of the embryo and potential medical benefits of stem cell research. What is the potential threat to human?
Pluripotent stem cells. In case if they are legalized and in reproducing the same, the pluripotent stem cells are like you can regenerate the same features what the human being has with whatever characteristics or whatever features you want. And
Genetic engineering basically.
Mutant brain or like sort of thing which can include potential threat in the future.
Commercial.
Yeah, that is a very far-fetched situation that might happen after a lot of years. Okay, but for the purpose of argument, we can say that. So basically, going against human nature, and to try to basically sort of inculcate certain characteristics through genetic engineering.
Slippery slope. Slippery slope.
Slippery slope. But there is a movie on this, Gattaca, on this theme. It's a futuristic sci-fi, and how they are manipulating the genes and DNA of cells to introduce certain characteristics in human beings. Okay, and those people in whom those characteristics cannot be inculcated, they are being eliminated. So it's a kind of like an alternate world is being created. Anyway. Yeah, so that would be there. However, this issue with embryonic stem cell research is now being resolved by focusing more on pluripotent stem cell research. Okay, pluripotent stem cell research, what is it? Basically, in pluripotent stem cell research, you don't need the bone marrow of the embryo. Even bone marrow of adult cells can be used. So, our bone marrow can be used for carrying out the research. Pluripotent stem cell research. So, there is no ethical conflict there. No embryo is involved. However, again, pluripotent stem cell is in a very nascent stage. Pluripotent stem cell research. And plus, whatever research has been conducted, it shows that it is much less effective than embryonic stem cells. So, if you want to find the solutions for these diseases, embryonic stem cell is more effective as compared to adult stem cells. Okay. So, pluripotent stem cell में भी काफी research हो रहा है. In fact, few years back, a Japanese scientist got a Nobel Prize for his research in pluripotent stem cells. So, it's still an ongoing process. Finally, surrogacy. Surrogacy has been in news recently. What is surrogacy? Renting of womb. When an infertile couple basically asks another woman to carry child for them. Okay, that is surrogacy. What is the legal status of surrogacy in India? Is surrogacy allowed? Now it is allowed as it?
So earlier there was a law or some proper channel was not there. A case happened that I think Australian couple or German couple had an argument that both of them opted for a surrogacy in India, and by the time of the delivery, both of the couple got divorced. So that was a change that the custody should be gone to whom?
Yeah, that was a legal case.
So after that only this thing, all the laws made.
So a law has been made after that?
Yes.
At present, we do not have any law which regulates surrogacy. Okay, we have a bill that is there, that has been proposed. Okay, that bill has not yet been passed. It's still being discussed and debated. There are two kinds of surrogacy: commercial and altruistic. Okay, commercial surrogacy and altruistic surrogacy. surrogacy, there is exchange of monetary benefits, there is exchange of money, wherein you. So, who are the stakeholders in surrogacy? On-call involved. Again, whenever you are reading any issue now, try to think in terms of stakeholders. Who all are involved in the issue, who all are getting affected, okay, and how they are getting affected. Okay, it would give you a much better picture of the issue. So, surrogacy में who all are involved?
Was the parents that the woman and the child.
The couple. First of all, the couple. The couple is known as the commissioning parents. Okay, so who all are the stakeholders? Commissioning parents, the couple, okay, और कौन है? The surrogate mother, the woman who is carrying the child, plus child who will be born. और कौन है? So all these fertility clinics. Okay. So surrogacy, in fact, it's a $400 million industry in India. India has emerged as a major hub for commercial surrogacy. बाहर से from other countries people come just for surrogacy. Government and regulatory bodies. Which is the regulatory body? Who regulates medical profession?
Minister of
Ministry of Health is a ministry. Regulatory body called MCI is there, Medical Council of India. Apart from that, ICMR also. But ICMR is more into the field of research, Indian Council of Medical Research. Plus, Medical Council of India is the main regulatory body. So, before 2002, commercial surrogacy was not allowed in India. In the year 2002, ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, came out with guidelines, certain guidelines, certain rules regarding commercial surrogacy in India. Okay. So, it was after 2002, after these guidelines came, that India emerged as a major hub for commercial surrogacy. And as I told you, it is now a $400 million industry. Okay. What are the issues with commercial surrogacy or surrogacy in general? What are the issues? What are the ethical issues or what are the other issues?
They're talking about divorce. The ownership of it.
That is okay. That is a legal issue that might arise.
the medically and what else will happen to the health of a woman after giving birth? What happens to her?
The health of the surrogate mother
Is not part of our culture.
most natural. It is not part of our culture.
Surrogacy.
Our mother was born. It's part of our culture.
Identity of a born child if the contract is not broken. Contract is broken.
What will happen to the child if the contract
No, identity of a child if the contract is broken.
contract
Is broken. So surrogacy is in the contract basis. The
contract between the commissioning parents and surrogate mother?
I'm talking about the international scenario. The foreign couples are coming here and the surrogate is going to the person. They can take the process is going on. Okay, but meanwhile, the child is born. The commissioning parents prove that particular contract. So the person or commission of that particular born child's identity is citizenship, national or international entity.
So citizenship of the child, if commissioning parents refuse to accept the child or something happens. Yeah.
So can you see biological parent concept also in this?
Which concept?
Biological parent.
Biological parents. Yeah, what would be the issue there?
For example, the child, the commissioning parents are, the mother is not a biological mother, and the surrogate mother is the biological mother. So a conflict, that's a psychological thing that the child
No,
is.
see, that is the choice that commissioning parents make. And nobody is forcing them to adopt the child through surrogacy or to accept the child through surrogacy. That is the choice that they have made. They want the child. See, they are, again, surrogacy is an assisted reproductive technology, ART कहते हैं. Okay, people use surrogacy only when they are not able to produce children through normal biological methods. If there is some problem with one of the parents or one of the couples or both of them, okay, then people use surrogacy voluntarily. So that psychological conflict should not be there, because you have made a conscious decision. You are comfortable, you adopt. There are, so many couples adopt children also. They go for IVF also, in vitro fertility also, and some go for surrogacy. So it's a personal choice that couples make. Okay, the major problem as far as surrogacy in India is concerned is the exploitation of surrogate children, because the entire profit or the entire revenue is being appropriated by the fertility clinics. है ना, commissioning parents 10 लाख रुपए दे रहे हैं, they are giving 10 lakh rupees, and the clinics are giving only 10,000 rupees to surrogate mother. It's just an example. Okay, so a large part of the entire supply chain, okay, these are the middlemen, these are the intermediaries, and they are appropriating the entire monetary benefit or revenue or whatever is generated. Then health of the surrogate mother, because pregnancy is a very sort of complex thing. Pre-natal, post-natal care, prenatal care, okay, a lot of care and regular checkups need to be carried out of the surrogate mother, especially after giving birth to a baby. Okay, what these clinics do, they just abandon the mother. Okay. They might be conducting regular health checkups before the birth of the baby, so that the baby is born, like a healthy baby is born, but after the birth, they just abandon the mother. Okay. Then there are issues related to child. So citizenship related issues have taken place in recent times. A German couple had come for surrogacy, and Germany does not recognize the citizenship of a surrogate child. India also does not recognize the citizenship of a surrogate child. Okay, so the citizenship of that child had become a very international issue. Okay, whether the child should have German citizenship or Indian citizenship. I don't know why did the German couple wanted a child through surrogacy when Germany does not recognize the citizenship of a surrogate child. I don't understand why did they come here.
The issue was that they were divorced.
That was a Japanese couple. That is a different issue. ये जापानीज कपल वाला भी रिसेंटली हुआ है. They got divorced. इसके बाद फिर the custody of the child became an issue. कि which parent would get the child. That was a different issue. This German couple is I think few years back. Japanese couple is a more recent example. Germany वाले में हुआ कि Germany does not recognize, then India also does not give citizenship to children born through surrogacy if the commissioning parents are foreign. So such constitutional issues might arise.
No law, no justice, no compensation.
Compensation too.
It's given, but it's not that
Yeah, it's not regulated. We have rules. That's what I said. At present, we do not have a legislative framework. We do not have a law. We have rules. You understand the difference between law and rules? What is the difference between law and rules?
Rules are execution.
Rules are executive guidelines or executive orders. Laws are made by the legislation. Okay. So at present, we have rules in the form of ICMR guidelines. We do not have a law. Okay. So the regulatory framework is not strong at present. That's why all these issues are there. Exploitation of mother. Then many times commissioning parents, they abandon the child if the child is born with some abnormality. They do not accept the child. Then what to do in such situations? Okay, many times trafficking of human embryos also take place. All these things take place because we do not have a strong regulatory and a legislative framework. Recently, a bill has been introduced, Surrogacy Regulation Bill. Okay, and the bill has proposed to ban commercial surrogacy altogether. Commercial surrogacy would be banned. Only altruistic surrogacy would be allowed. Altruistic surrogacy means only a relative, only a close relative. They have defined who a close relative is. Only a close relative of the commissioning parents would be allowed to be a surrogate mother. And that too, I think only once or twice they can.
Twice after 5 years.
Second time after 5 years, I think.
And sir, if the parents are not able to produce a child, the holding of period is of 5 years. After 5 years,
That is fine. I am talking about a surrogate mother can carry a child only once or twice. Sir. Once. Just check once. I don't know. I think might be once. Only once they would be able to carry a child on somebody else's behalf. Okay. However, one criticism of the bill has been that it does not allow living parents or homosexuals or foreigners, okay, to become commissioning parents. Even single parents. Single parents, living partners, homosexuals, and foreigners are allowed only because only your blood relative can carry a child. So, only in exceptional cases a foreigner would be a blood relative. I understand. The foreigners would be automatically eliminated. Okay, but this provision that living parents, single parents, homosexuals won't be allowed to get a child through surrogacy, it has been criticized generally. I mean, recently so many famous celebrities, single parents, Karan Johar, Tushar Kapoor, Karan Johar, Tushar Kapoor. Amir Khan ने तो I think IVF से yes, use IVF. Even शाहरुख खान का भी IVF surrogacy. शाहरुख खान का surrogacy. Anyway, so you can expect a question on surrogacy. Something on surrogacy even in paper 2. Paper 2 में भी आपका आ सकता है. So just go through the provisions of the surrogacy regulation bill. Where do you read about bills and acts? कहाँ से पढ़ना है? PRS. PRS is a very good website. PRS Legislative Research. Okay. वहाँ पर you will get a sort of brief analysis of different bills, legislations, committees, commissions, etc. which have been set up. सबके recommendations with analysis you will find on the PRS Legislative Research website. It's a very useful website for preparation of paper 2. PRS Legislative Research. PRS type करना है. उसमें बहुत systematically you will find bills, health sector के bills, education sector के bills. ठीक है, along with critical analysis, not just the provisions of the bill, what are the issues with the bill. ठीक है, it's a very good source for reading about bills, legislations, committees and commissions that are set up. What are the recommendations of different committees, commissions. Okay. Okay. The last thing that we are going to cover here is acts of double effects. No, applied ethics is over. This is the last thing in the ethics, morals and values wala theory. This is not related to applied ethics. Acts of double effects. So I think in the orientation only we discussed about acts of double effects. These are those actions which have positive as well as negative consequences. Thus, if something leads to a positive as well as a negative outcome, then how to assess the morality of those actions? So the following principles should be followed while assessing the morality of acts of double effects. following principles should be followed while assessing the morality of acts of double offense. First, the action that produces the two effects must either be good or indifferent. Must either be good or indifferent. That is, it should not be intrinsically wrong. Okay? Second, the purpose of action must be good. The purpose of action must be good. Third, there must be a proportionately. There must be a proportionately good reason for performing the action at first place. There must be a proportionately good reason for performing the action at first place. And fourth, the evil effect must not be obtained. The evil effect, or rather the good effect must not be obtained, not the evil. The good effect must not be obtained through evil effect. Okay,
The good effect should not be obtained through
evil effect, evil. Okay, so that is, it should be possible to isolate the good effect and the evil effect. Okay, so one of the good examples for acts of double effects is drone attacks. Drone attacks we have discussed. So drone attack, it is an example of act of double effect. The positive effect क्या है? Killing or capturing of terrorists. Negative effect is civilian casualties. Collateral damage in the form of civilian casualty. So let us try to assess the morality of drone attacks by using these principles. पहला क्या है? The action that produces the two effect must be either good or indifferent. What is the action here? Action is use of drones. Drone क्या है? एक technology है. Technology is always value neutral. It depends on us how we use the technology. And drones can be used for delivering pizzas also. You understand a drone? Drone is a UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle. Now for what purpose we use, whether we use it to drop a bomb, whether we use it to deliver a pizza. Domino's few years back, Amazon was also, even Domino's was also using to deliver pizzas. Drones. So drones are value neutral, it depends on us how we use it. Second, the intention or purpose of the action must be good. So drone attacks, whenever we are carrying out drone attacks, the intention is good. The intention is to capture the terrorists. The intention is not to kill civilians. Okay. Third, there must be a proportionately good reason to use drone attacks at first place. So only after other conventional methods have been exhausted, then only drone attacks should be used. If we are using drone attacks only at the last resort, then this principle is being satisfied. The fourth one is the problematic one. The good effect must not be obtained from evil effect. That is, if we remove the evil effect, the good effect should remain. है ना? तो good effect है terrorist, evil effect है civilian. If we remove civilian casualty, would we be able to capture the terrorist or kill the terrorist in a drone attack? See, again, it depends. It depends, but generally speaking, it is not possible. Because a drone affects a particular area. For example, 1 square kilometer of area. So whoever is living in 1 square kilometer of area would be affected. So it's highly improbable that no civilian is living in 1 square kilometer of area. If at all that is the case, then this condition would be satisfied. Or if you are able to evacuate the area, if you are able to make civilians evacuate the area, again it's highly improbable, because then the terrorists will also they will also evacuate the place. Okay, so generally this condition is not satisfied. If at all this condition is satisfied, then drone attacks are ethical. But अगर civilian casualties हो रहा है, then drone attacks cannot be ethically justified. What is the issue with drone attack apart from civilian casualty? Is there any other major ethical issue with drone attack? Drone attack is an example of asymmetric warfare. Asymmetric warfare. What does asymmetric warfare mean? What is symmetric warfare? Yeah, conventional warfare which takes place on the battlefield. There are soldiers on the other side, there are soldiers on this side. They are firing, they are also firing. That is symmetric warfare. Asymmetric warfare में क्या होता है that one of the parties is not on the battlefield. So people who are operating drones, they are not there on the battlefield. They are sitting in some air-conditioned room somewhere, and they just have to press a button. Now, in such a scenario, your inhibition to take a human life goes away. Are you understanding? And people who are in charge of drones, they are not there on the battlefield. Their lives is not at stake. So, in such a situation, the inhibition that generally we have before, like we think multiple times before taking someone's life. For example, if you are a soldier on the battlefield, you know that if you kill somebody, they will also respond. So there is a fear of backlash. That fear is not there in drone attacks. Okay, so that is a major ethical issue in drone attacks. It is an example of asymmetric warfare. Okay, so the people who are in charge of drones, they are not on the battlefield. They do not have to face the dangers that normal soldiers have to face, and therefore they might not have that inhibition before using drones, even at the cost of civilians' life. Yeah. So again, you can get a question on drone attacks, because drone attacks हमेशा न्यूज़ में रहता है. ड्रोन अटैक्स आर बीइंग यूज्ड इन आफ-पाक रीजन, है ना. अफगानिस्तान पाकिस्तान बॉर्डर एरियाज में ड्रोन अटैक्स आर यूज्ड वेरी फ्रीक्वेंटली, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट अ लॉट ऑफ सिविलियन कैजुअलिटीज हैज टेकन प्लेस. यू कैन गेट अ केस स्टडी और यू कैन गेट अ स्मार्ट ऑफ थ्योरी क्वेश्चंस. क्लियर? So we are done with topic 1, ethics, morals and values. We discussed various concepts related to ethics, morals, values, fallacies, importance of ethics, dimensions of ethics, meta-ethics, normative ethics, applied ethics, and finally we concluded with acts of double ethics. Okay, ये पहला topic complete हुआ. Let us discuss few UPSC questions on this topic.
So there are some things like determinants of ethics. What are
We will discuss determinants of ethics, determinants of values. Similar, we discuss when we discuss values. Acts of double effect is consequences of ethics in human life. There is a topic called consequences of ethics in human life. So it is nothing but acts of double effect.
is going part
Yeah, when we talk of consequences of ethics in human life, acts of double effect is the major part. So, UPSC questions. 2013 का question है. Some people feel that values keep changing with time and situation, while others strongly believe that there are certain universal and eternal human values. Give your perception in this regard with due justification. Have you done this? Have you covered this topic? No?
The crisis in values. It is not
Ethical relativism में क्या डिस्कस किया था?
cultural relativism.
What did we discuss in cultural relativism?
Values are not universal.
क्वेश्चन क्या पूछ रहा है? Some people feel that values keep changing with time and situation, while others strongly believe that there are certain universal and eternal human values. Give your perception in this regard with
Ethical
justification.
relativism and ethical absolute.
Yes. Ethical relativism believes that values keep changing from culture to culture, from individual to individual. Okay. On the other hand, ethical absolutism believes that there are universal values which have acceptance across cultures and societies. वही चीज यहाँ पर पूछ रहा है. What is your perception? What is the ethical realism? Okay. So yes, values keep on changing from culture to culture, from society to society, from situation to situation. Again, give examples of ethical relativism that we discussed yesterday. How Western societies के values are different from Eastern societies. How values of different communities are different. Values of different communities are different. है ना? Personal laws of different communities. All these examples we have discussed.
We also give changing values at two times.
Across time, yes. There is a temporal dimension also. So there is a spatial dimension and there is a temporal dimension. जब हम लोग values का बात कर रहे हैं तो there is a spatial, that is across space, across different cultures, across different countries and societies, and there is a temporal dimension, that is the time dimension. That values keep on changing with time also. Okay, values or culture is a dynamic concept. Okay, so those values which are not relevant to modern times, which have become obsolete, we get rid of those values. For example, हमने जैसे सती, untouchability ये सब का बात किया, है ना? So they might have been relevant to the ancient and medieval times, not in modern times. With time, value changes. We have to give these examples. Okay. So to some extent, yes, values keep on, like there are values keep on changing across different cultures, across different times, but at the same time there are certain universal human values also. क्या examples discuss किए थे? That is at an individual level, at a cultural level or societal level. Yeah, so we had discussed Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UNUDHR, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. So the values which are prescribed by these conventions and by these declarations, they are universal acceptance. Again, you have to give as many examples as possible. Focus on giving examples. Okay? Then distinguish between, first, law and ethics. कर लेंगे?
Moral legalism.
Yeah. So, you'll be able to answer law and ethics. Discrimination and preferential treatment. What is the difference between discrimination and preferential treatment?
Discrimination are depriving of
Discrimination is okay. Yes.
depriving of opportunities, depriving of opportunities and skills. Here,
Providing equality of opportunity. Yes. So discrimination is used in a negative sense. When you, as you said, when you do not allow certain individuals or certain sections of the society to access certain resources. क्या example होगा discrimination का? What kind of examples can you give? Untouchability is an example of social discrimination. Yes. Caste-based discrimination. Again, discrimination can take various forms. Social, economic. For example, wage gap between male and female. Gender wage gap. For the same work, female are given less than their male counterparts. So that is an example of economic discrimination. The laws that exist in many of the GCC countries. You remember GCC countries? Gulf countries, West Asian countries. So their laws actively discriminates against the women. So I had given the example of Saudi Arabia. Till recently, women were not allowed to drive. They have given the right very recently. In many countries, women were not allowed to vote. In Switzerland, as late as 1971, all the women were not allowed to vote. Can you imagine? Switzerland, which is such a developed country, as late as 1971, and we, like India, a developing or an underdeveloped country, we adopted universal adult franchise in 1947. Preferential treatment, as you said, preferential treatment basically means positive discrimination. Positive discrimination in favor of marginalized and underprivileged sections of the society. So in our society, different communities, different sections are not equal. Against certain sections, historical injustices have been committed, and therefore they need support of the state. And state supports them in the form of affirmative action. Have you heard of affirmative action? Affirmative action. So, affirmative action is essentially preferential treatment for certain sections of the society, okay, who are at a disadvantageous position as compared to other sections, जो vulnerable और marginalized sections. क्या examples हो जाएंगे affirmative action के और preferential treatment के? That is also an example of discrimination. Temple entry, बैन करना, दलित्स को या तो बैन करना है और वुमेन को बैन करना, साबरी माला वाला जो है, या see, when you are discriminating against somebody, you are giving preference to others. So both are two sides of the same picture. I understand. You are discriminating against women or Dalits, you are giving preference to other sections of the society over them. But that would be an example of discrimination. Certain sections of the society not being allowed to enter temples. It's an example of discrimination. Reservation is an example of preferential treatment or affirmative action. Again, reservation is just one of the means of affirmative action. Apart from reservation, there are other means through which state support different vulnerable and marginalized sections of the society. Subsidies. We have so many welfare policies and programs for different sections. Women के लिए programs, SC/ST के लिए programs, minorities के लिए programs. All these are examples of preferential treatment. And the objective of preferential treatment is creation of equality of opportunity.
Special economic zones.
Yes, would be an example of preferential treatment to certain category of industries who satisfy certain conditions. Okay? So again, just 2 lines of theory and then examples.
How is this ethics not?
Law and ethics. Law and ethics we have discussed yesterday. You go through the recording. Okay? Once you go through the recording, then if you have any doubts or questions, then I can discuss with you individually. Okay? Yesterday's class and today also half of the class. So 1.5 classes you have missed. So go through the recording first. Then they'll upload them, watch on the portal first. Then if you have any doubts on that, all these things have law and ethics I discussed yesterday very comprehensively. Okay. So first you go through through that. Then after that also, if you have any questions or doubts, then I'll clarify those. From tomorrow, whatever you are going to cover, it will have nothing to do with yesterday's class. So from tomorrow onwards, you can, there will be no problem in understanding. Okay. And the last question here is ethical management and management of ethics. Distinguish between ethical management and management of ethics. How will you distinguish? What is ethical management? What is management of ethics? Again, these are UPSC questions, so I am not making them up. These questions have come. See, for these questions you cannot prepare. Ethical management, management of ethics, these are just play of words. Okay, so you have to use your common sense here.
Rational and extra rational.
Rational.
Which one to opt for in the right situation? Ethical management.
And what is management of ethics?
Management of ethics.
Categorical imperative. And management of ethics, categorical imperative. And rational.
So management of ethics in our skill.
Sir, these are
In ethical management.
management of ethics. We are having various concepts. So which concept to apply where, and ethics management, that particular concept, how to manage it, how to implement it.
Okay.
There are two situations now. So where we have to apply the concept. Now the second situation comes how to apply this concept.
When we adopt this present management, in what fashion we are approaching towards the end. Towards it.
See again, as I told, it's a very subjective question. All of us will have our own different interpretations. I'm going to tell you my interpretation. You can agree with it, disagree with it, or add your own input. Ethical management is in the context of, is generally used in the context of organizational management. Management of an organization. How to manage an organization. There are different organization management theories. Okay. So how to manage an organization in an ethical manner. Okay. So for instance, if you read about organization management theories, broadly there are two kinds of theories. Classical theories and behavioral theories. Okay. Classical theories basically is based on hierarchy, discipline, centralization of authority, exercise of authority on the basis of domination and command. Okay. For example, bureaucracy. Our bureaucracy is known as Weberian bureaucracy. You have heard of Max Weber?
Yes.
Max Weber came out with his theory on bureaucracy. Yeah, hierarchy, discipline, centralization of authority, exercise of authority on the basis of domination and command. So basically in classical theories, human beings are treated like machines, static factors of production rather than dynamic entities. Okay. These theories are also known as theory X. In organizational management, these theories are also known as theory X. So basically theory X assumes that human beings are inherently lazy. They are not intelligent and therefore they have to be coerced, they have to be forced to work. And until unless you dominate them, until unless you give them orders, nobody is going to work. That is their fundamental assumption. On the other hand, behavioral theories are based on dignity and self-esteem of the members of the organization. Okay. These theories are also known as theory Y. Okay. They believe that human beings, most of the human beings, they want to work. They are not lazy. They are intelligent. They are creative. However, they will work if there is proper condition, there is proper environment in the organization. Okay. So behavioral theories are based on dignity and self-respect of the members of the organization. Acceptance is the basis of authority and not domination. Your subordinate should accept your authority. You should not dominate them. Yesterday we were talking ending itself principle. So that is the behavioral theory, and it is considered to be an ethical organizational management technique. How to manage an organization ethically? By respecting the dignity and self-esteem of the members of the organization, by consulting them in decision making, participatory supervision, participatory decision making process. Okay, working for the welfare of the members of the organization. Okay, all these things is part of ethical organizational management style or ethical management. Clear? Management of ethics, on the other hand, how to manage ethics at an individual level. Okay, how do we manage ethics? Managing ethics basically means how do we train ourselves to take ethical decisions through the process of ethical reasoning. Developing ethical sensitivity, ethical judgment, ethical choice, and then ethical character. So that is how we manage ethics at an individual level. Okay, so यहाँ पर process of ethical reasoning so as to take ethical decisions at an individual level, यहाँ पर at an organizational level, ethical management. Again, this is interpretation that I would think of. You can have your own interpretation because these are very subjective questions. There is no right answer. It depends what interpretation you are giving and how you are able to justify it. Again, the focus has to be on justification and examples. Just writing some random thing won't get you marks. You have to justify it. You have to give examples to justify. Till the time you are able to give examples, you are able to justify whatever you are given, the interpretation, it's fine. Clear? Again, for these questions, no preparation can be done. Nobody can teach you about these things. Depending upon your general awareness of different topics, general GS knowledge, you will have to use your own mind in the examination hall. Okay. So, I think from tomorrow then we will start with human values. Acha, tomorrow Monday. We will have class. But next Saturday I will try to have the class.
Last 2 months you guys focus on this. For education, last 2 months,
I told about doing specific preparation. Test series, the static part of prelims, if you are covering it through means preparation, then you can give tests related to those portions.
from now onwards, or they in